Hey, alright, so another episode of Something Brilliant. Why am I calling this Something Brilliant? Because I truly am planting seeds for something brilliant to come of it. So, this is not for the weak, not for the ease. I think it is for the weak because we start out weak. We definitely start out at the bottom, wherever our bottom is, and we work our way up. And it's kind of funny when you realize all the paradoxes, right? When working your way up is sideways or leaning into the curves of your developmental cycle rather than some linear put in effort and things happen. I'm saying this because the vibes these days are that the shift is, for myself anyway, that my efforts will match the outcome because in the past they did not. Now, to be fair, my efforts would be thwarted by myself in a myriad of ways. And when you get to a level where you are playing a crazy game of think about The Edge of Tomorrow and you've got Tom Cruise going through, except every character that's getting in your way is you. You're the invading aliens, you are the funny bylines, and it's wild. It's wild. And to stay grounded and not even positive, but open and loving through this is the wonderful gladiator ninja life training course that we find ourselves on as part of the awakening journey. Now, awakening to myself is framed in that journey home to yourself and bringing forward a self that has never been, which is again another paradox because you can't go back in time to be an old version of yourself, not when you've learned all the things that you have in this current version of yourself. Nor are you the same person because you've jumped timelines or dimensions or fractal patterns or however you want to look at the quantum mechanics of it. And yet here we are. So if you found this video, fantastic. If it makes sense, even better. So the reason I'm making this particular video is because I just had a moment of self-recognition after a growth spurt. So I recognized, as I was jokingly telling myself to grow up, be an adult, I recognized that I'm about as adult as it gets. Making proper choices that scare the shit out of me and still standing. When the anxiety or the history or all of the different things that have happened to me would have said no, or slouch more, be more in pain. Don't forget to cry about it. Don't forget you're suffering. It's different. It's not like things aren't there because they never go away. They're a part of us. We simply expand with that loving energy, that compassion for the complex. Yeah, the complicated. All right, so let's get into it. What can I share with you about what to do in this type of scenario in order to make life not just bearable, but enjoyable? So I'm eating more vegetables. I'm not going to say I'm vegan. I definitely eat meat sparingly. Mostly fish if I'm going for like a non-vegetable based protein. But that doesn't mean, again, I still eat eggs for crumb's sake. And I make most of my food. When I'm splurging on junk food, it's usually processed, but for the most part, I'm cooking my own food, and that has made a big difference. There's a lot of research and study into how that impacts depression, which is something else I've... Yes! What? Uh-huh. She's interrupting again. Or do you want to be on this? Because I'll lift you up and I'll show you to the camera for the world to see. If you're going to be interrupting. Yep, too late. Camera star. Look how happy she is to be on the camera. So happy. You being grumpy? Well, guess what? Two can play that game. Alright, get back over here, you. Come on. Yeah, I know. Back to it. I'm not going to edit this one as much. At least I'm not going to edit Bailey out. Because this one needs to be a little less. Not filtered, but when I was editing and processing the video from last episode, it felt clean. And that's not a bad thing. But life is everything but clean. You know, I was binge watching a show for all of like 3 hours, which was huge because I haven't done that in ages. And I kept thinking to myself, you know, love is so much more than the bittersweet or the shortchanged. Love is so much more than that. It's far more than what we could ever reduce to a TV show or a movie or a two-dimensional experience. It needs to be lived and breathed. And I think that's probably the biggest way forward. Again, thriving, or not thriving yet. I'm not going to put you through that expectation that you're supposed to be thriving right now. But, and there's always a but, I do think that I believe we are meant to enjoy all of it. Even this part. Even those parts. There's a vitality to our experience that is so very precious. And we get to a point where we wouldn't give it up for anything because we wouldn't be who we are. And that's part of the love that carries us through. And the reason why I'm doing the veggie thing was simply because being in tune to the confirmation burp, that one gets around. Oh my God. It's so true though. Of all the things that you would find synonymous across the digital channels for the revolution, the awakening, the things we would recognize, confirmation burps. Oh my gosh. It just astounds me. The patterns. Okay, let me tell you my little theory on social media and digital messaging. For the YouTube, the readers. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been a reader since 2001 as far as in-person readings with tarot cards and energy and all that good stuff. Energy, as far back as I can remember to repress it. However, when it comes to online card readings and messages, and channeled messages and scribbled messages. There's again, an entire range of transmissions going across this, right? To me, I like to call it digital radio, like digital radio frequency, and your ancestors, your spirit guides, your spiritual teachers, spirit, oh my gosh, everything in the other dimensions communicates through readers. Always has, always will. And what's beautiful is sometimes I'll catch myself, because part of reprogramming our life experience works by reprogramming what you're consuming, for better or worse, right? We unconsciously do it all the time, and then we blame the algorithm. And yet we can actually break the algorithm with our intentions and the way that we use it. But again, do we actually do the effort of doing that? So here I am. My algorithm is attuned to the same way I used to do my card readings. The intention is always, what do we need to hear right now? What do I need to hear right now? What do the people I'm reading for need to hear right now? And when you have hundreds of thousands of readers across YouTube and Instagram and Discord and Facebook and everything, right? Posting messages about their general readings, it's like a cosmic voicemail box system. And based on your numbers, and I've talked about this before, not on this particular podcast, but in other channels that I've been on, I've talked about how we have our own personal language with the universe. And this is something that carries us through in this journey. By developing and enriching that language, we're able to have a dialogue. We're able to get to that place in our evolution where we are dancing with the universe. When I heard the validation from that from a few readers, that was huge, because I thought so many times, right? That's my concept. That's something that I came up with in order to make this meaningful or enjoyable. It is another stage in the game, my friends. And there's this sense of, if you're not enjoying it, if you can't see the dance in it, right, then you're not going to be able to find your rhythm. And once you want to make this less of a I'm there experience and more of a keep going experience, the better we want to make that maintenance journey, the better we want to enjoy the rest of our life, the next chapters of our existence. So we dance and we ask the universe to dance with us, and how we want to engage in that energy, that conversation, brings forward the things that we are anticipating. So back to the algorithms. And so my algorithms are, what do I need to hear? And so, yeah, the cosmic voicemail box, using the numbers, the phrases, the nudges, the feelings that you've developed, whether it's recognizing colors or patterns or smells or certain combinations of digits that mean something to you, like your birthday, things that kind of have shown up in your life synonymous with particular events, you make something of that, right? Check out numerology for more details. There's some really cool generalized meanings around those numbers that you can then understand. For me, it went so far as when I was a kid, I would associate numbers with colors. And so my favorite colors had a number associated appreciation, and all of that good stuff. Anyways, so as you're going through, whether it's a like count or follower count or time of posting or length of video, those are the ways that we're looking for the combinations of the numbers. As I mentioned, the idea of phrases that stick out to you or phrases that are meaningful, whatever it is, because again, there's so many things around the globe and they're constantly putting it out there, on behalf of those on the other side, which is incredible. And it's really humbling when you think about it, right? There are people, myself included, that would want to validate. I mean, the whole spiritualism church is founded on this principle. The validating that there are other signals that we're not necessarily engaging with within our five senses, hence the sixth sense. Maybe there are ancestors of yours that are trying to give you messages of, cheer up, you got this. Maybe are spirit guides that have been with you since you came into this world that are able to give you the message that helps you feel validated in your experience. Maybe this is one of them, right? And all of these little things become miracles because they bring us such joy. They lift our heart. They keep us cracked open so that the light can shine in. And that's the beauty of it all. Nothing more, nothing less. And so that's why I wanted to make sure I recorded this message. I know it's not everybody's going to connect with it, but I know it's working because this is the first time I've recorded a video and it actually has the proper stuff on it. You guys, it has been a time. It's been a week. Anyway, yeah, so I'm glad to get this out there. I know it's going to hit the right people. And I know that the right words are going to land because that's the intention I set. So, all my love, you got this. Keep on trucking. We'll be back for another episode of Something Brilliant. I promise the next one will be more fun. I'll come up with some animation or a song or a dance. It's going to be great.